Hello, everyone. My name is Jessica Sanchez. I am the founder and CEO of Daughters of Both Sons. And today I will be presenting this presentation called You Can't Pour From Empty. These are mental health tools for women carrying their families, communities, and themselves. And I want to go deep and have a little mini deep dive on what this means for each and every one of us, especially those of us that are working within various communities, have children, have businesses. We're focused on community impact and a variety of different things, right? And it could look a bit different for each and every one of us, but it is imperative that we take a look at ourselves. So, I do want to talk about mental health community in real life. So, my name is Jessica Sanchez. I am the founder and CEO of Daughters of Both Sons. I own a nonprofit organization where we connect women, especially those navigating trauma, stress, and life transitions, to culturally responsive mental health support and real community care. I'm also a mother myself, which means I'm living everything that I'm about to talk about in real time. I am not exempt from these struggles as well. We're all human beings, and especially those of us that are in roles that require leadership, right? And for us to go from speaking from theory to speaking from lived experience, it means that we're diving into real support, not just conversations. We're actually um, being able to take a look at ourselves and realize that we are not exempt from these struggles, right? And that mental health, as we know, it is, right, a struggle in itself. And we all battle with our own challenges on a daily basis when we're juggling a multitude and a variety of different things. So many of you are probably, at the same token, right? People that care, right? Women that care deeply, but it does take a toll and it is exhausting, right? You could be someone that cares about your family, your community, and everything that's happening around the world. And it can leave you overwhelmed, stretched thin, and emotionally drained. We all go through this, right? Because caring deeply comes at a cost. So, especially when you don't have space to process everything that you're carrying. And as women, we juggle, right? Especially women that own businesses, that take care of others, that are caregivers, moms. We feel like we have the whole weight of the world on our shoulders. So it can be draining. And it's okay, right? Because we're human beings and we're not always going to feel upbeat at times, but self care is very important. And one thing that I see in the work that I do every day, I see women battling from burnout, anxiety, isolation, and just overall women carrying way too much, right? And internally they're overwhelmed, right? These are women who are strong, women that are capable, and doing everything they're supposed to do. They feel anxious, they feel isolated, they're carrying responsibilities that no one else sees. And we are consistently battling, right, with the self and thinking that we need to uphold a standard of for perfectionism. But in reality, we're still human, even those of us in leadership positions. And great strength shows when we can take a step back and analyze and say, I am not okay today. Um, there's many things that are happening, and I need to take care of myself before I can take care of others. And this is a reality. I go through it. I face this on a daily basis. And there's times where I have to take care of myself, right? And when I'm feeling too overwhelmed, I have to take a step back. And many of us need to learn that we can easily burn out and crash out very quickly if we don't take care, right, of ourselves first, right? So the truth is that you are not weak, you're just overwhelmed. This isn't a personal failure. This is exactly what happens when you feel that you're expected to carry everything without enough support. And, you know, this isn't a failure on your end. We just have to have a more clear understanding of, yes, we do want to help everyone. We do want to invest in our communities. We do want to invest in those that we're helping. But what are we investing in ourselves? What time are we giving ourselves to rest, to let the mind rest, right? And we are very hard on ourselves the majority of the time, beating ourselves up, thinking that if we take a break, this is, a failure or we're not doing enough. And we have to learn that we cannot support others when we're running on empty. If we don't take care of our mental health, we burn out. And that in itself impacts our families, our communities, and our ability to show up for others, right? Um, I had to struggle with this personally not that long ago, where I was going at 100, probably 1,000, percent of just going, running the nonprofit, managing interns, managing partnerships, still working full time, raising 3 kids, being a wife. And it all does take a toll, right? And if we can't show up for ourselves, we can't show up for those that we want to support. We can't show up for our kids. We can't show up for the community. So making sure that, hey, I need to reset my batteries and retune, it is imperative, and it is okay to take some time and step back. If that means turning off your phone for a few hours, if that means taking, right, a few minutes to yourself in meditation, for those of you that are spiritual in prayer, reflecting, journaling, whatever that means, taking a walk, being able to decompress in your own way, going out, buying yourself something, right, as a treat for all of your hard work. I know it's easier said than done, but I want to dive into some practical tools that we can all use as women, right, to further help us. So, tool number one, you have to protect your mental space. Not everything deserves access to you. And this is something that I had to learn the hard way. Not everything and everyone deserves, right, to enter in my energy field and have access to me, especially if it is affecting me in a negative way. So, one of the things that I tell women that I work with, you have to protect yourself, you have to protect your mental space, and that means limiting yourself to exposure of news, stress, and negativity. It could be certain family members, it can be certain friends, it can be certain, even the news that we're experiencing, the news cycles that we're seeing rotate on a daily basis. We have become so stigmatized to all of the current events that we are just on overload. So we have to learn to have a balance and be able to protect our mental health by protecting our mental space. That in itself is very imperative. Also, tool number two, being able to regulate your nervous system, right? There are moments where we need to reset. This is something me, myself, I am working on, right? I think many of us that are leaders, our mind from the time that we wake up to the time we go to sleep, it is on overload, especially having children, being on the go consistently, dealing with our kids, making sure that they're physically, emotionally, and mentally being taken care of. Um, and then helping, right, in leadership roles, others that are under us. And if we're also dealing with community involvement, activism, impact, or in whatever leadership role you might be in, whatever type of business, right? There's moments and times where the brain, it takes us a moment to just decompress, and our mind is still on overload, and we feel that we need to continue running, running, running nonstop, even to the point where we're so accustomed to having the phone when we go to sleep and checking it right when we wake up as the first thing, right? Especially dealing with a variety of different things. So, whether it is stepping outside even before bed, right? Breathing, right? Or sitting down in silence, whatever you need to do for your body to take a break, right? It is important that you give your body that time and the space to heal. Healing doesn't happen when you're in a consistent area, right? When you're in a consistent battle, I should say, with stress. So for us to be better and more effective in the work we want to do, and especially when we're working with our own children, we have to take some time to regulate the nervous system, to wind down, right? To go outside if that's what you want to do. Like I said earlier, if you need to journal, if you need to write your thoughts out, listening to some music, if you need to meditate, if you need to say a prayer, whatever is going to work for you, that's the tool that you should use to regulate yourself. Going to tool number three, you don't have to carry everything. Sometimes we need to learn to stay in our lane. I say this from experience, and I say this because I am type A, and it is hard to let go and let others that I have hired or are under me or interns take care of their responsibilities, because we tend to think I could do it better myself, right? Because it has my name behind it, and I want to make sure that this is successful, and I want to make sure that everything is right to the point, and that I dot my i's and I cross my t's. Well, we have to understand that it takes a village. It really does, for us to continue to be able to support others. And we have, right, support and help and resources from others around us. And if you don't, we will speak about resources that can't be accessible to you. But the resources that you do have, feel free to take advantage, whether that's family, whether that's, going to therapy, whether that is folks that are in a religious community, whatever it is, right? Choose to get the help and also know that you as a leader have roles and responsibilities, but you cannot carry all of those roles and responsibilities upon yourself. You can care deeply about many things, but you don't have to carry all of these things. So focus on where you can make impact without losing yourself, which is extremely important. Tool number 4, having a community is not optional, and I say this consistently, right? Healing happens in connection. This is why we have the resources, right, from various different organizations that we come out and we help folks. And if you don't know, for example, I built my own nonprofit organization, Daughters of Both Sons, because too many women, especially women of color and underserved women, were navigating life alone. And we were never meant to navigate life by ourselves or carry everything. So having community is extremely important. And that could be your loved ones, that can be a religious community, church community, it could be friends, it can be groups that you're a part of, right? And even what we're doing right now with, you know, these series of different presentations and topics that we're speaking of, take advantage of those tools because it literally takes a village. It is a common phrase that's always used, but it does take a village to be able to move and make impact and get things done. So, know for your own healing, community is not optional. You need the support and you need those resources with you. Tool number 5, modeling emotional health. Model emotional health because your children are learning from you. Our children, and I've been learning this, right, because it's all an ever evolving experience, they don't need perfection. They need to see what it looks like to reset, to feel, and to recover. Our children take, right, what they see from us and they learn those patterns. And what we show them now can actually affect them into adulthood. And these are things that they can excuse me, exemplifying themselves. So we want to be cautious on knowing that perfection is not needed, and our children need to see that we're able to reset, that we're able to take care of ourselves, and it is necessary that we're practicing what we preach, and that we need to recover in order for us to keep going. And those are good skill sets to teach our children. And talking about parenting and leadership, you're raising future leaders, right? So, how you show up right now, especially in the hard moments, shapes how your children ultimately will not navigate the world. So, we have to know that our children, they are the next generation, they are the future, and they will be taking what we teach them, what they see, and they will exemplify that as they grow older, and they will carry those experiences with them. I want to introduce my nonprofit a little more deeply for those of you that would be interested, or if you know of anyone that would be interested in Daughters of Both Sons. We are a nonprofit organization based on trauma informed mental health care for Black and Latina women. We have a bridge care navigation model where we will work to find providers that are culturally competent therapists that take your insurance. If you don't have insurance, we work with therapists to negotiate scaled fees from $40 to $50. And then we have pro bono support, and there's eligibility requirements to meet for that support that we um, negotiate with the therapists in our network. We connect women in therapy to resources and community. We have an app as well that anyone is free, is free to use. It's called Daughters of Both Sons, both on the Apple Store, on the App Store, and on Google Play. We do resource navigation as well. So for those that are battling with job support, immigration issues, they need legal aid, any type of resource, we're here to literally help and allocate those resources as best as possible. And we have resource navigators. We're actively connecting women to resources, therapists, and real support systems because access does matter as much as awareness. And you might be asking yourself why this matters. This matters because no woman should have to navigate this alone. This work that we're doing is to break cycles, making sure that women have the support that they need so they can show up fully in their daily lives, whether that is at the workplace, family, in their relationships, in the community. But this is why our organization was created. And even if you are a woman who doesn't fall in this bracket and you're looking for resources, we never turn anyone down, even though it is our niche, right? To support the Black and Latina community, um, and get them the culturally competent care that they need and resources. And plus, we do a variety of different healing circles. We do panels. We work actively in the community in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, but we also work nationally with a variety of different partners that you can also see on our website as well, which I will share shortly. But we're here to support as many women as we can, no matter the race, even as I stated, even though our niche is for Black and Latino women, we have women that have sought out help from outside of these ethnicities and races, and we've never have turned them down. We have helped them get to the appropriate resources and help navigate with support. So it is important, as we talked about, to seek help when needed. A free resource that I will throw out there for those that are watching this presentation would be a mental health reset guide for busy women, because it is needed. I advise that you look through that guide for those of us that are busy navigating a million things: children, work, community work. Um, Whenever you have a chance, take some time and review that reset guide. It will be really beneficial. And connect with us to learn more about our organization at daughtersofbothsons.org. And if this resonated with you, as stated, feel free to review the guide and learn more about our work and connect with us. Please remember that you deserve support, you deserve peace, and you deserve to keep going without losing yourself. And I truly mean that. Be kind to yourself, reset your nervous system, and most importantly, take care of yourself. Because if you do not take care of yourself, you can't support or make impact. Thank you everyone for listening and taking the time today. Again, my name is Jessica Sanchez, founder and CEO of Daughters of Both Sons, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.